In this video, we're going to go over how to create a responsive page in Xfunnels using the Page Builder. Now to start, I'm going to use a blank template, as you can see here, and I'm just going to start by adding a background. So I'll go ahead and choose the background and click on Import. And as you can see, the background's been added to the section of my block that I've chosen. Now I'm just going to add some text. And to keep this simple, I'm just going to copy and paste text that I have over here in my text editor. Now, I took this text and copied it from this HQ webinar page. Now, you may wonder why I've pasted it into a text editor rather than just copying and pasting from here. And I will show you why I've done that a little bit later. But first, I'm just going to start off by pasting in that text. So I'll go ahead and add a heading text. And I'll move it up my page a little bit. I'm going to come over here to my text edit and grab the text that I want. And I'm just going to come in here and paste it. I'll go ahead and stretch this out so that I can format it in the way that I want it formatted. Move it over here. If I click inside, I can of course edit the object. I can change the color. So I'll just make it white. I can adjust the font size. I'm going to bring it down to 28. And then I want to center align my text. So I'll go ahead and click on center align. Now, as you can see, you can barely see the text in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my manage background. And I'm actually just going to add an overlay. So that color will do. And I'll add an overlay so that it's much easier to see the white text that I've added. You don't have to add an overlay. You can change the color of your text instead. It's completely up to you. So I'll go ahead and get out of there, and I will add another heading text. Again, I'm just going to come over here to my text editor and copy the text that I've already pasted here and just paste it right there. Again, I'm going to want to lengthen this out. And as I can see, there is a space needed there. So here, I'm going to go ahead and keep the font black. I'm going to make sure the font size is at 40. And I'm again going to center align my text. I'm going to go ahead and add another heading. And this time, I am actually going to copy directly from this web page into my builder. And this is going to help explain why you may or may not want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to come back to my builder. I'm going to click inside so that I can change the text, and I'm going to paste. Now, as you can see, when I copy directly from the website or web page and paste it into my builder, it also copies over all of the styling content as well, including the colors of both the background of the page and the text, along with the font that's being used. If you choose to copy from a page like I just did, please note that you cannot change the background color, and it's going to be really hard to change the text color in here as well. As you can see, it doesn't really like to change. So you're going to have to make sure that if you do paste from a web page, you're completely happy with the styling that you're going to get. You are able to change the font though if you'd like. So if I come over here and just click on Edit Object, I can come over here to excuse me, if I click on the font setting, I can go ahead and choose a font setting from here. So maybe I'll choose that font instead. But again, the colors cannot be changed. Now to get this all to align up, because as you can see, it's not aligned at all, I can just click on each of these boxes and come over here and click on Center Align. This is going to align all of my text to the center, and I can move it up and then double check that it's centered and move this one up. And again, just click on the center button to make sure that it's centered. Now, if I like the way this looks, then I'm ready to add a video or an image or text or anything else that I want to do to my page. So I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to lengthen this a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and add a video. So to add a video, we can just click on the video upload or embed. I'm going to come over here and just add it to the side of my page and just lengthen it out a bit so it's just a bit bigger. Now if I want to insert my own video in here, I just need to click on Edit Object and have my YouTube link ready. I'm going to use this one right here. Come back into my builder and just make sure that I paste it and click on the Update button. And as you can see, my video has been updated here on my page. So I'll go ahead and close out of that. I'll just move this over here. And now I may want to add some text, some shapes, or anything else to spruce up the page. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add a shape. I'm going to choose a square. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to align it with my video and sort of stretch it out so that it's about the same shape. I can go ahead and move this over. If I want. And now if I want to, I can change the background color of this because it doesn't really quite match with everything else I have going on here. So to do that, I just click on the Edit Object. And if I scroll up, I can choose the background color from right here. So I'm going to try and stick with something similar to the orange that I have above. And you can choose to have a border. In my case, I'm going to choose not to have a border. And if you want, you can move the corners of your shape simply by using the slide bar. Now, depending on which slide bar you use, that's the corner that's going to be moved. You can also try consistent corners, and then all of your corners will move equally. I'm going to go ahead and keep them inconsistent and just have a little bit of fun with my page. So I'm going to leave it like that. I actually like the way that looks. I can change the opacity here and make it a little bit lighter or darker. So I'll go ahead and change it to about there. And now I can close this out. So generally, when you have a shape, you might want some text inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a paragraph. And I'm going to move it inside my shape right here. Now, in this particular instance, I want the text to be bullet points. So I'm just going to show you briefly how to do that. And again, I have my bullet points over here pasted in my text editor. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste a few of these. And I'll just come over here, copy my text and delete it. And I'm going to use bullet points. Just go ahead and paste. And again, I'm going to want to change this color, probably to black. Come back in here, press enter, and come to my next bullet point. And copy my second one here. and paste it in there. If I click enter, it'll give me another bullet point, and I can copy my next one and paste it in here. Now I won't do all of these because I think you guys get the point, but I'll go ahead and paste these here. So I'll come over here and grab my other one, another one, and just stick it here. So I'll go ahead and increase the font size a little bit, but enough to fit inside. So that's perfect actually, that fits perfectly. So I'm going to click on Done Editing. And I'm going to go ahead and just move this shape around a little bit. Move this down to match it. And I'm ready to go. The next thing I may want to add is a countdown timer. So I can add one. Let me lengthen this first. I can add a countdown timer here. Stick it right below. We can make this as big or as little as we want. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Again, I can click on that to make sure that it's centered. We can edit the object. We can put in an end date. Choose our time zone. I'm in Pacific time. And we can of course choose the font family that we want, the countdown color, so maybe we'll leave it there, and the shadow color if we want. Totally up to you. Now I'm just going to add a button. And move it on down here. Make sure it's centered by clicking on that center icon. And of course, I'm going to want to come in and edit my button. I'm going to have this become a link. And it's going to go to google.com. I'm going to have it open in a new tab when they click on it. And if I want to change the text on my button, I can, to get instant access, or whatever you want to type. You can change the background color and the font. In this case, I'm actually just going to come over here and choose button style. I'm going to go ahead and choose this fancy one. I can add effects if I want. I can make it 3D. I can have it glow. And I think I like this as well. That might be a little bit too many effects for you, but it's up to you how you want to design your button and your page. So I'll go ahead and exit out of these. And now I just want to save my page. So let's just have a look at what this looks like on a preview. Make sure I saved it. Let's check preview and just see how this looks. So it looks pretty good on a desktop or a laptop. Our countdown timer is working, and so is our button. But now, of course, we want to check the responsiveness. And I have not set up any responsiveness on this, so I don't expect it to be responsive yet, but I want to show you what it's going to look like. The easiest way to check how responsive your site is to right-click on the page and click on Inspect. This will bring you to a responsiveness page, and as you can see, I have it on iPhone 5 SE, so let me just go ahead and refresh that. And let's just see what this page looks like. So far, not too bad. Looks like it's all in there. There's my video, but it looks like my shape is not connected to my text. So we're going to want to make sure that we change that. Let me come back over here into my builder and let me show you how we get these to group together. So we're just going to click outside of the shape and the text. We're going to hold our mouse down and we're going to drag and highlight both of those together. Let go. We're going to come up here and click Make Group. So you know it worked because both of these say group here. Now, of course, it's going to move together, and of course I probably could have lined this up a bit better. Let's just see if I can. There we go. Let me move this down. And then probably move this one as well so that it's even. Make sure that's centered again. And move my button down a little bit. Make sure that's centered. Okay, so now that we've grouped these together, let's give it another try. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to come back over here to my responsive test page, and I'm going to click on refresh. So let's check it out. We have our text here. We have our text. And of course, if you don't like the way this looks, you can always decrease the size of your text inside your builder. So I have my video here, and I have my shape and all of my text inside the shape. There's my countdown timer, and there is my button. So let's go ahead and check it on another device. Let's check it on an iPad and just see how it turns out. Let's have a look. And that looks pretty good also. Have it all on there. We can try an iPhone X. And again, if you don't like the wording cut off there, you can just reduce the size of your text. And that should take care of the issue. We have everything here. And there's my button. So it's looking pretty good. A couple of things to keep in mind. If you want to switch the order of things in here, we're going to do that by using indexing. So if you click on any one of these, you'll notice this number at the bottom right hand corner. This one has 4, this one has 5, this one has 3, this one has 6, and this one has 7. And this indexing is numbered in the order it's created, starting at 0. So if for some reason you wanted your button to appear on top of the countdown timer, moving it around is not going to change the order it's displayed on a different device, such as an iPad or a cell phone. You actually need to change the indexing number here. And let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, I've already rearranged these. Let's just recenter them and save. We can come back over here to the responsive page. And remember, the timer was above the button. I'm going to refresh, and even though I've changed the layout of my page, on the smaller devices, the layout is going to stay the same. The only way we can change the order of these two is to change the indexing. So we'll let that finish loading. I'll come back here and I'll click on my button, and you'll notice this icon that says Object Index. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and change it to 6. Then I'm going to come over here to my timer, which also has a 6, and change it to 7. I'll go ahead and save this. And now I'm going to refresh my page over here. And now you'll see that the timer is below the button. Now again, if I do rearrange these back to the way it was, I can, and the only thing it's going to affect by doing this is the way it's previewed on a desktop or a laptop. It's going to be the indexing that controls which order they show up on a mobile device or a tablet. So as you can see on my desktop, it's showing up with the timer on top and the button on bottom. But again, on my mobile device, the timer is on the bottom and the button is on the top. The last thing you're going to want to remember when building out your page is to make sure that none of the indexing numbers are the same. Let me show you why. We can come over here to this group of text that we have, and one is 5 and one is 4. If I were to change my shape to 5, which is the same number as the text on top, click on Save, and come over here to my responsive test page and refresh, you'll notice that my shape is no longer appearing. And that's okay. You may not want the shape in the responsiveness on smaller devices such as mobile devices or tablets. But if you are wanting that consistency with the same background shape and color, and the same goes with text and videos, etc., then they all need to have different index numbers and indexed in the order that you wish for them to appear. So if I come back to my builder just one last time and change this one back to 4, click on Save, come back to my responsive testing page and refresh, you'll see that my background is back where it's supposed to be. And that's how you start building responsive pages inside of Xfunnels. We'll have a few more shorter videos going through each of these sections in a bit more detail in focused videos, such as the indexing, grouping, etc. And I look forward to seeing you on those videos.